In this picture, you can see the haunting eyes of an 18-year-old Russian girl, just moments after being liberated from Dachau on April 29, 1945. Her hollow gaze tells the silent story of unthinkable suffering, survival, and the heavy cost of war. This picture shows that British POWs, newly freed from Japanese captivity in Singapore, 1945, bear the visible scars of starvation and trauma. Their thin frames and distant stares reflect the brutal conditions they endured during years of war and imprisonment. This picture shows that in 1907, a British sailor was unshackling an enslaved man who had been chained for 3 long years. The image captures a rare moment of justice amid a brutal era, symbolizing both human cruelty and the hope of freedom. In this picture, you can see survivors from the 87th floor of the North Tower, wandering through thick dust after the South Tower's collapse on September 11, 2001. Their dazed expressions reflect the chaos, fear, and disbelief that gripped New York City that day. This picture shows that Bill Biggert, the only journalist killed on 9/11, captured this final image moments before he died. It stands as a powerful testament to his bravery, documenting history up close, even as the world around him crumbled into dust and fire. In this picture, you can see the eerie nuclear shadows of Hiroshima, dark silhouettes burned into stone by the atomic blast. These haunting imprints mark the final moments of lives instantly erased, serving as permanent reminders of nuclear devastation. This picture shows that in 1964, motel manager James Brock poured muriatic acid into the Monson Motor Lodge pool to force black swimmers out. The image captures a shocking moment of cruelty during the civil rights movement, exposing the depths of racial hatred. In this picture, you can see the eerie calm before disaster the moment the sea receded, marking the start of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. Unaware of the danger, people stood watching, moments before one of the deadliest natural disasters struck. This picture shows that Josie, Bertha, both just 6, and Sophie, age 10, worked regularly at the Maggioni Canning Company. Their small hands and tired faces reveal the harsh reality of child labor in early 20th century America, where childhood was often sacrificed for survival. In this picture, you can see child patients bound and tied to a radiator inside a psychiatric hospital in Deir el-Qamar, Lebanon, in 1982. It's a haunting glimpse into a system that failed its most vulnerable, where neglect and cruelty replaced care and compassion. This picture shows that a Chinese woman, whose feet were bound since childhood, lived through the painful tradition of foot binding in the late 1800s. Her deformed feet reflect a cultural practice that valued beauty over mobility, often at great physical and emotional cost. This picture shows that the Dyatlov expedition members smiled for one final photo before vanishing in the snowy Ural Mountains. Taken just hours before the mysterious incident, it captures a calm moment before one of history's most chilling unsolved tragedies. In this picture, you can see coal miners emerging from the depths after a long day's work in Belgium around 1900, covered in soot and exhaustion. Their faces reflect the harsh reality of industrial labor that powered a nation, but came at a human cost. This picture shows that 28-year-old Marcy Borders, a Bank of America employee, took shelter in a nearby office after the South Tower collapsed. Covered in dust and fear, she became a haunting symbol of the human toll and trauma of the 9/11 attacks. This picture shows that in 2019, two Colombian soldiers gave a final salute while free-falling during an air show after the rope carrying them snapped. Captured midair, the image became a tragic symbol of duty, bravery, and a farewell made in seconds. This picture shows that victims of the Chernobyl disaster were treated for acute radiation sickness in a Soviet clinic after the April 26, 1986 meltdown. Their fragile, swollen bodies reveal the invisible horror of radiation, deadly, silent, and merciless in its damage. In this picture you can see Halloween during the 1930s, where children wore eerie, handmade costumes that feel more haunting than playful. With crude masks and shadowy settings, the photo captures a time when Halloween felt raw, mysterious, and unsettlingly strange. This picture shows that in 2014, a man made a fatal jump into a tiger enclosure. His face, full of defiance and despair, speaks volumes of a reckless bid for thrill that quickly turned tragic. The frame freezes his final, desperate moment before inevitable danger struck. In this picture you can see a World War I soldier, possibly shell-shocked, staring blankly into the void. His haunted eyes and frozen expression reflect the unseen wounds of trench warfare where the mind, as much as the body, was shattered by relentless horror. This picture shows that Ted Bundy, later known as one of America's most notorious serial killers, once appeared as a friendly neighbor playing with children. The unsettling contrast between his charm and hidden darkness reveals the chilling duality of evil. This picture shows that Allison Parker, a young journalist, was conducting a live interview in 2015 when she and her cameraman, Adam Ward, were fatally shot by a former coworker. The image captures a calm moment before tragedy struck, freezing time before the unthinkable. This picture shows that moments before a massive wave struck during the 2004 tsunami, people stood unaware along the shore. The calm before the catastrophe hides the incoming terror that would claim thousands of lives in one of history's deadliest natural disasters. This picture shows that an X-ray captured the fatal impact of a tear gas canister launched in a protester's skull during Iraq's 2019 anti-government protests. It's a stark reminder of the brutal force used against civilians demanding justice and change. This picture shows that a tunnel rat is cautiously entering a lower level of a Viet Cong tunnel system. Changes in elevation were deadly, filled with hidden traps and ambush risks. Each descent was a blind gamble, demanding courage in the face of unseen threats. This picture shows that a doll with two faces, one smiling, the other frowning, was once a child's toy. But its unsettling design reflects how innocence can blur into eeriness, turning a simple object into something haunting and emotionally complex. This picture shows that at the Michigan Carbon Works factory in Rougeville, mountains of bison skulls awaited processing. Once roaming in millions, these bones marked a near eradication of a species sacrificed for industry, profit, and westward expansion. This picture shows that John Libera, known as the double-bodied man, lived with his parasitic twin, Shock, attached to his chest and stomach. The rare condition stunned early 20th century audiences and revealed the bizarre extremes of human biology and medical mystery. This picture shows that the BTK killer, Dennis Rader, stands smiling beside his daughter, living a double life as a devoted father and a cold-blooded murderer. The image is chilling, hiding unspeakable darkness behind a mask of normalcy and family innocence. This picture shows that the mask worn by Dennis Rader, the BTK killer, during his attacks was disturbingly personal, handmade, and haunting. It concealed not just his identity, but the twisted fantasies he acted out while living a seemingly ordinary life. This picture shows that around 1910, a baseball team made up of prisoners played for their lives, their executions delayed only as long as they kept winning. It's a haunting blend of sport and survival, where every game was a battle against the noose. This picture shows that in 1908, a young trapper boy sat 1 mile deep inside a West Virginia mine. Covered in cold dust and shadow, his small frame reveals a harsh reality of child labor, enduring darkness, danger, and exhaustion to help feed his family. This picture shows that Jeffrey Dahmer, later infamous as a serial killer, once stood as an ordinary high school student beside a classmate. The image is chilling in hindsight, masking the darkness that would later unfold behind a seemingly normal facade. This picture shows that an unidentified woman was photographed by Rodney Alcala, a serial killer known for his disturbing photo collection. Her fate remains unknown, adding a chilling layer of mystery to an already haunting legacy of manipulation and violence. This picture shows that the modern remains of a kindergarten classroom near Chernobyl lie frozen in time, tiny shoes, toes, and lessons scatter in radioactive dust. Once filled with laughter, it now echoes with silence, a haunting reminder of sudden, irreversible loss. This picture shows that Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker, sat in court with a chilling stare and a pentagram drawn on his palm. His disturbing presence and lack of remorse shocked the nation, embodying pure evil on public display. This picture shows that Princess Diana, her bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones, and driver Henry Paul were captured just moments before the fatal crash in Paris. Unaware of what lay ahead, the image freezes the final chapter of a life that captivated the world. This picture shows that magician Joe Burris was being lowered into a grave in a glass casket for a buried alive stunt. Moments later, the casket collapsed under the weight of wet concrete, turning a daring illusion into a tragic final act. This picture shows that a female Omothamus spider, native to Malaysia, rests silently in her natural habitat. With its large, hairy legs and striking appearance, this elusive tarantula species embodies both the mystery and majesty of the tropical forest floor. This picture shows that an X-ray of Albert Fish's pelvis reveals dozens of needles he had inserted into his body for pleasure. The disturbing image offers a glimpse into the mind of one of history's most twisted criminals, where pain and perversion intertwine. This picture shows that a De Beers mine worker in Kimberley, South Africa, is X-ray at the end of his shift in October 1954. The scan wasn't for health, it was to check for stolen diamonds, highlighting the strict, dehumanizing control over laborers in the mines. This picture shows that a group of unsettling clown figures was found inside an abandoned old folks' home. Their faded paint and eerie smiles turn what was once meant to bring joy into a haunting reminder of isolation, forgotten laughter, and silent halls. This picture shows that on December 18, 1942, a Japanese soldier waded into the sea off Cape Ndayadere, New Guinea, pressing a grenade to his head. Ignoring an Australian soldier's plea to surrender, he chose death over capture, a haunting act of wartime resolve and tragedy. This picture shows that police are seen excavating the backyard of Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer. Their search for Barry evidence unearthed the horrifying extent of his crimes, decades of murder hidden behind the quiet facade of suburban normalcy. This picture shows that 17-year-old Kendrick Johnson was last seen on security footage walking into his high school gym on January 10, 2013. The next day, his body was found rolled up in a gym mat, raising questions and controversy that still surround his mysterious death. This picture shows that a man with schizophrenia underwent a lobotomy, a once common procedure, and to treat mental illness. The stark contrast between his before and after appearance reveals the devastating impact of the operation, leaving him hollow and emotionally muted.